this is not real life and this is not actually relatable. Why is this on social media? Like, this is a very intimate moment. Influencers and content creators can't win because people critique them if their content is not relatable enough, if their content is just overly glamorizing their lifestyles. And on the other extreme, they get critiqued if they do post those real moments. Welcome back to my page, beautiful people. It's been a little while. It's been a little while since I've made any form of long form content. So I've been seeing this topic go all around social media, and I've really been thinking about it for a while and really wanted to record a video like discussing it, because I think it's something that's like really interesting to really dissect, and it's also something that I can personally relate to since I've been creating content on and off since I was 14. So before I dive into this topic, I do want to like give a little bit of a backstory. If you don't know, I started recording videos maybe when I was like 8-9 years old. I honestly just truly loved the camera, and I truly just loved talking to the camera and just, recording myself singing, recording myself talking about my day, or talking about something just really minuscule as a kid. It was something that was genuinely fun for me. So I had those videos from when I was like 8 and 9, and then I started posting on Instagram maybe when I was like 14. And I just loved posting really encouraging stuff. I loved talking about things that were like really dear to my heart as a 14-year-old. If y'all don't know, back in high school, I was a whole social justice warrior. I really loved standing up for the rights of people, and I really loved just discussing stuff that I was truly just passionate about, not just on social media, but in person as well. And I did that for a little while, and then I started a podcast when I was 15. This was back before everyone had a podcast, and back before podcasts was like really that popular. Like, it was in the very beginning stages. And then I just, out of nowhere, I went viral on TikTok, and then I just lost interest in social media. I really felt like after a while, I started to just seek validation from people. Like, I would literally have anxiety before I posted a picture, thinking about whether or not it's going to get a lot of likes, or people going to comment, what are people going to think when they see these photos, instead of genuinely sharing moments that I wanted to with the world and genuinely sharing pictures that I liked. A lot of times I would only dress up and look cute just to take pictures. So I knew, okay, I'm going to dress up today, and then I'm going to take some pictures, and I'm going to post it on Instagram, and so on and so forth. And I was like, no, like, I genuinely wanted to post stuff that I was passionate about, and I genuinely wanted to do things because I wanted to, not because I was looking for validation from other people or validation from likes and comments and so on and so forth. And I've just always been the kind of person that loved going against the grain. So yeah, I just started to just genuinely lose interest. I didn't want to be like everyone else. I didn't want to feel like I was performing for people. And I just wanted, after a while, I also kind of just wanted privacy. I didn't want to have to keep performing. I didn't want to have to feel like I had to post this stuff in order to be cool, or so on and so forth. So it just, after a while, just didn't seem that intriguing to me. So after that, I graduated high school, and going into college, I was on like a whole social media break. Like, I didn't have Instagram on my phone, I didn't have TikTok on my phone, and I just lost interest in all of it. And it was a really interesting experience that I feel like I can go deeper into in another, I almost said episode, in another video, because you truly learn a lot about yourself and learn a lot about like your friendships and even different hobbies that you like when you're not simply like scrolling through social media 24/7. But that's a video for another day. And then eventually I came back to social media, and it was interesting because I remember feeling so overstimulated the first time I opened the Instagram app after like 2.5 years. Like, I was genuinely so overstimulated because I went from honestly, maybe talking to 3-4 people every week to all of a sudden having the ability to know what's going on in like hundreds of strangers' lives. Like, it was a really overstimulating thing, and I just remember feeling like, wow, like this is a lot to process. And I truly feel like after that social media break, the way I viewed social media changed, and thus the way I viewed influencers and influencer culture changed a lot as well. I recently saw a video on YouTube of a creator who was discussing like being a content creator, and she kind of mentioned like, yeah, like everything I do is performative. Like, everything I post on Instagram, everything I post on YouTube is performative. But she never, the way she described it was really interesting to me, because performative in the way she was using it wasn't necessarily a bad thing. Like, she described basically mostly showing like the highlights of her life, and basically stated that a lot of the content and a lot of the behind the scenes that people were able to see were the highlight moments. They weren't always, you know, like the low moments in life or the times of disappointments and so on and so forth. And I remember thinking it was really interesting, because that is a critique that a lot of people have of social media creators, content creators, and influencers, which is that it's a very idealized version of themselves and an idealized version of their life that in reality is just not reality. So in a way, it's like a lot of people consuming it know that, hey, like this is not real life and this is not actually relatable to day-to-day life. There are definitely videos that I personally see pop up on my feed and I'm like, this should have never made it out of the drafts. Like, there are definitely times where I see videos and I'm like, why is this on social media? Like, this is a very intimate moment. This is a moment that should have only been between the individuals that were in it, and I just feel like I'm third wheeling. Like, I feel like I'm seeing something I was never meant to see. And it's really interesting because in a way, influencers and content creators can't win, because people critique them if their content is not relatable enough, if their content is just overly glamorizing their lifestyles and a very idealized version of their lives. But on the other extreme, they get critiqued if they do post those real moments, if they do show the behind the scenes moments or the non-glamorizing moments. And I've seen where for a lot of creators, in a way, them attempting to be relatable and them attempting to be real results in them oversharing every single aspect of their life. And there are moments where I'm like, hey, like this camera should not have been on. We did not need to see this. And it's like they're attempting to be relatable, but at the same time, the lines literally get blurred between what should be out there, like what should other people have the ability to consume and comment on, versus what should actually be a private moment that's kept between us. So I was like, honestly, influencers and content creators really cannot win, because if you do post those really glamorized moments, you're going to get hate. And if you do post those really authentic behind the scenes moments, you're going to get hate. Another critique that I definitely see a lot of people speak about a lot is the fact that a lot of influencers are out of touch. And I've seen videos where people will literally be like, yeah, I just spent like 4K on this, or I just spent like 10K just doing this, or, you know, today I just felt like doing this, so I just went to this grocery store and spent like $100 on like 2 items. I know I'm definitely exaggerating, but you guys get the point. And I think what it is, in a way, is we forget that there are people in day-to-day life that are just out of touch. And there are people out there who do live in an echo chamber. And I think social media is amplifying it, because we're able to see the behind the scenes and we're able to see what we wouldn't see. We're able to see outside of our echo chamber and outside of our day-to-day lives and outside of our friendships and our lifestyle. And I think the solution to this, my Jamaican accent, what my 15-year-old self has been preaching since I started my podcast back in 2020, stop idolizing people. There are for sure like content creators and influencers that I enjoy following, And I know it's easy to fall into the trap of thinking, oh my goodness, like their lives are so perfect, or oh my goodness, like I just love them so much. And I know it's really easy to form parasocial relationships, but the truth is you have no idea what the behind the scenes of these people's lives are and how they actually interact in real life. So the truth is the best solution would be to just not put them on a pedestal to begin with, and to not idolize them, to not idolize their lifestyles. I know for me what really helps is like I like watching content, and I know that some of the stuff I'm seeing is definitely like just their lived experience, like their lifestyle, and it's interesting to be able to watch that. When you start to humanize a lot of these influencers, you start to realize that it's so much more important to pour a lot more of your energy and time and effort into your own day-to-day life and finding the small, simplistic, minuscule aspects of your life and enjoying that, you know, and genuinely loving the small things. So that's it for this video. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm actually super excited to start doing a bit more content like this, so I'll hope to see you guys soon. Bye.